Good morning everyone, and welcome back out to the bush block. Another bit of an update. We've got most of the sealing done now in these 3 containers. If you want to see how they've been put up the same way as we did the other 2 containers. Just secured to the metal battens with the insulation up there. I think I've still got to put some in this section. I've only got a few bats left. I've got a couple wall panels up this side. But the main reason for our update today, we're going to go through our pump shed and filter shed. So this is it here. Actually just filtering some water at the moment. This is drinking water. Until now we were carting drinking water. I was collecting it and bringing it in from town, just in that blue barrel. That's coming through the filter now. There's no pump, that's just from gravity from the tanks. I haven't got the pump wired up yet. We normally collect our drinking water in that, and then we put it in this drinking container here to drink, which is just temporarily while we are still building. But while that is filling up, as you can see, it takes a while. As I said, there's no pump involved, it's just gravity. We'll go through the pump shed. It's pretty much done now except for the pump. The wiring and electrical's not done yet, but we'll go through it and show you what we've done. So this pump here I've showed before, it's the transfer pump I used to pump out to the caravan. It's wired up to this switch and a fuse in that box there. I just bring the battery in with the alligator clips and hook it up. So here, this is where our water is coming in. We can select which tank we're drawing from just by opening the valves as they are all hooked together with the manifold. Currently I have the end tank hooked up. This outlet here is just for water for the gardens and things. It's just under tank pressure. So we need some water. The water here is pretty clean, it's just straight out of the tank. But I thought I'd put in a filtration system anyway, just to improve the taste. Because we got the first flush diverters on the roof, it should be pretty clean, plus the water will settle in the tank. But I thought I'd run this through this setup and show you what we've done. So first of all, we come up through the floor. This is our rainwater tank. Come straight up. We come through this first strainer, which is a 150 micron stainless steel strainer. Basically this is just to protect the pump, although it already came with a strainer built in on the inlet side. So this is the bigger, it's a 150 micron stainless steel strainer. Now this valve set up here, we've got the 2 valves turned off at the moment. Normally these will be open and this one is off. This valve here is a bypass valve. So if you need to remove the pump, or you want to bypass the pump as we are doing now, close off the 2 pump valves and open this one as the bypass valve. You can use that then for maintenance on the pump, or if you have to replace the pump, you can still get water just from the tanks through gravity. And we come along to our first outlet. At the moment I've just got these going through the back of the shed. We'll have a look. I've just got those outlets capped off there, as you can see. Haven't been hooked up to anything yet. This pipe here, this outlet will go to outside taps. All it has been done is just gone through the 150 micron strainer, and this will go to outside taps for gardens and things like that, washing hands. Okay, the first filter we go through, it's a 20 micron filter. Then we go to the second outlet, which actually tees off. So this one here will go to shower, bathroom and the kitchen sink after it's gone through the 20 micron filter, and it also tees off into this pressure tank. Now what the pressure tank does, it has a bladder in the top which is charged with air. I think it's around 25 psi. Once you are using your pump, this is a 60 psi pump. The pump will pump up to 60 psi, fill this up with, it's an 80 litre tank, fill it up with 80 litres of water at 60 psi. So when you turn your tap on, your pump won't actually turn on until this pressure in this tank backfeeds. It'll backfeed through the system, and the pump won't turn on until it drops below a certain pressure of the pressure switch, which I think is around 30 psi, and then the pump will kick in. what the tank does, it'll, on low flow and low usage, it'll stop your pump kicking in and cycling, so you get better use out of your pump. So you can turn your tap on just for fill a cup up, and the pump probably won't even kick in because it's drawing pressure from this tank. So this tank feeds in this way, and it also comes back out this way to feed the whole system, so it can run in both directions from the tank. So that's what the pressure tank is for. And the last two filters, we've got a sediment 10 micron, this one here was a 20, this is a 10 micron. Then we have a half micron, and it's also a carbon and silver impregnated filter. And this will reduce the pressure fairly dramatically, even with the pump. But this will be going to a dedicated tap into the kitchen just for drinking water. So the main filter that will clog up over time will be this 20 micron, as all the water is running through that. As I said, this going to the shower and sink. But we have fairly clean water anyway, and I reckon we'll get about at least 12 months out of them. Even if we only got 6 months, I've got them in bulk, and we've got about 3 years supply of filters. So those pre-straighted filters, I'll give you a quick look. These are the 10 micron, oh that's the 20 micron, sorry. And that's the 10, can't really see that much difference looking at them. And the this is the half micron filter with carbon, and it also has silver impregnated in it to kill any bacteria, and the carbon helps absorb any contaminants such as chlorine, even though we are only got rainwater, so there should theoretically be no chlorine in the water. So as you can see, our drum there is nearly full. Obviously this process will be a bit quicker once the pump is set up. But yeah, it saves, now we're basically independent as far as water is concerned. All our tanks are full from the recent rains, and we have our full pump and filter system up and running. And once this pump still needs to be wired up, this pump shed will have an independent power system to the rest of the house. The house will be running on a 48 volt system through an inverter to run the outlet, so we run on 240 volt AC in Australia, where this shed will be 12 volt only, and it'll have its own independent system. I'll just shut this off. So for now we'll probably run wires from the charging station to this shed, but later on it'll have its own solar panels up on the roof and its own actual battery and charge controller. This actual design of the filter system was taken from the Earthship designs I've seen on the internet. They normally use PVC, but I decided to go against using PVC. I've used poly screw-on fittings, which works out a bit more expensive up front, but if I want to change the system I can pull it apart and reuse the fittings, where if it was glued PVC, well basically they're used once and you can't use them again unless you can get the pipe out of the fitting, which is not easy. But this is all reusable in case I wanted to make a change to the system, or if the system for some reason totally fails and we want to change it, all those fittings are reusable so that the money won't go to waste and we can reuse them. So yeah, hopefully it all works out well. We'll find out when I get that pump wired up. I've had no leaks yet. I haven't pressurized the system. Once I get that pump running and prime all that up to 60 psi, I will have to check for leaks. I haven't put that pressure tank into action yet. Obviously there's no point until I get the pump all wired in. But yeah, that's a quick update on the filter system. So I'm happy with how that turned out. If you have any questions or comments, just leave them down below in the comment section, and we'll catch you again next time on the Bush Block Homestead. See ya.